Patch 10.0.7 has been with us for almost a week now, and already you may be noticing just how much Elemental Overflow you're gathering all of a sudden. Rares, treasures, world quests, and special events around the Forbidden Reach all give a good chunk of Elemental Overflow each. So today I wanted to make this video showing you what to spend your Elemental Overflow on, as well as some tips and tricks for anyone looking to farm extra. Before patch 10.0.7, Elemental Overflow was actually quite difficult to farm. Players were limited to farming primal storm events around the Dragon Isles, or later in patch 10.0.5, playing the Storm's Fury event in the Primalist future. This made any reward bought with Elemental Overflow pretty tough to get, but now Elemental Overflow comes thick and fast. So if you're a mount collector, or if you're interested in any specific mount models or any other cosmetic rewards, now is the best time to farm Elemental Overflow. Let's take a look at the 3 mounts you can purchase with Elemental Overflow. Firstly, the Stormhide Salamanther is by far the easiest of the 3 mounts I'm going to show you, because all it requires is 2000 Elemental Overflow, which you will have gathered easily within no more than a few minutes on the Forbidden Reach, if you get lucky with rare spawns. Once you've got all the Elemental Overflow you need, head to Mithressa in one of the small buildings in the Obsidian Enclave in Valdrakken to purchase your Stormhide Salamanther. The second mount you can buy with Elemental Overflow is the Skyskin Hornstrider, a slightly newer mount added into the game with Dragonflight patch 10.0.5 and the Storm's Fury event in the Primalist future. This mount will cost you 3000 Elemental Overflow, but it will also require 150 Essences of the Storm, which can only be farmed during the Storm's Fury event. If you can't see the world map icon for the Storm's Fury event, it may just mean that it's not active right now, but it also won't show up for you unless you've unlocked it. You can unlock the Storm's Fury event by picking up the quest called Storm Warning at the seat of the Aspects in Valdrakken and following the brief quest line from there. Roughly 6 Essences of the Storm will drop from the final boss of the event, and you also have a chance to pick up the Coalesced Storm Remnants quest item that will reward you with 10 Essences once handed in. Just be mindful that this is likely only lootable once per week per character. Finally, completing the Storm's Fury event will award the glowing Primalist cache, which will contain roughly 9 Essences as well. If you need any specific help with the Storm's Fury event, I made a YouTube short covering the main features of the event in under 1 minute. That video is linked in the description below. The final mount you can buy with Elemental Overflow is the Noble Bruffalon, a brand new mount added into the game with patch 10.0.7. This mount costs 100,000 Elemental Overflow, so it will take some more time to earn your way up to this one, but with the significantly increased amount of Elemental Overflow players can loot from the Forbidden Reach, it still shouldn't take too long. For example, I recently played the Forbidden Reach for roughly 2.5 hours, just flying around, killing rares and looting treasures, and I was able to grind out almost 30,000 Elemental Overflow. So after approximately 3 or 4 days of playtime, depending on how much you can get done, you should have farmed all the Elemental Overflow you need to purchase your Noble Bruffalon. This mount is sold by Storykeeper Ashek in Morcut Village in the Forbidden Reach. If you're interested in battle pets as well, there are a few that can be bought with Elemental Overflow, such as Stormy and Ghostflame from Mithressa in Valdrakken for 1000 Elemental Overflow each, or Bucky, who is sold by Turek in the Forbidden Reach for 25,000 Elemental Overflow. Lastly, there is the Time Lost Vorquin Foal for 1500 Elemental Overflow and an additional 105 Essences of the Storm from the Fury of the Storm event. This pet is sold by Brendormy in the Primalist future. Now let's look at the fastest ways to grind out Elemental Overflow. Firstly, I would highly recommend installing an add-on like Rare Scanner or Handy Notes to help you reach as many rares and treasures as possible once they are active. Between Rare Scanner and Handy Notes, I would recommend choosing Rare Scanner, as it will alert you once a rare or treasure has spawned, as well as allowing you to quickly pin its location on your map so you can navigate to it quickly. The rares on the Forbidden Reach have a good amount of HP, so you should have time to get to most of them unless players are camping out specific ones. From my experience, the two rares inside the War Crash, which are Pyrachnis the Spider and Warden Entrix, are much more efficient to get to on a character that can stealth or drop aggro, as you will likely pull lots of elite trash mobs on your way down to either of these two rares. If you want to get to these rares regardless of their location, but you don't have a stealth or an aggro drop, now is the time to invest in some invisibility potions. You can also join rare farming groups if you would like to, but I've always found that while the Forbidden Reach is still fresh content, there are lots of other players around to help with killing rares that a group isn't really necessary. What may be worth doing is making a group for farming regular elite mobs around the Forbidden Reach. You can do this alone, but depending on your spec and item level, having other players to help would make the process significantly faster. Think of this as a similar grind to the Genesis mote farm from Zereth Mortis in Shadowlands. Simply form a group or join a pre-existing one and kill the elite mobs inside the War Crash for a good chunk of Elemental Overflow per hour. If you want to play solo, regular mobs around the Reach will also drop some amount of Elemental Overflow, but you will likely have to fly around to different spots as these mobs respawn. So there you have it. Those are just some of the things you can buy with your excess Elemental Overflow and some tips and tricks on farming extra if you would like to. Thank you for watching today's video. Be sure to check out the channel if you'd like to, as I make lots of WoW guides just like this one. But for now, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!